Welcome back, Northridge Nation. We've got the Spartacus Gladiator project here. We finished our lift. We've got the big tires on. Now we need to make adjustments to the computer. And when we say making changes to the computer, of course, we're talking about the computer in the Jeep. All newer vehicles got so many computers in there that control everything, and that includes the JL Wrangler and the JT Gladiator. Now, we do need to get in there and tell the JT Gladiator that it's no longer running those little tiny, puny stock tires. We now have those great big 40-inch tall tires. And how are we going to do that? We're going to do that with the Mini Tazer from Z-Automotive. This little box will allow you to change all kinds of things, including tire size. That's right, we need to set this Gladiator up so that the computer is reading it has 40-inch tall tires, not those little tiny things. It'll also allow you to adjust the PSI warning for the tire pressure monitoring system. And of course, with a big tire like this, we will be running a different PSI than the stock tires. It's small, it's little, and yes, it goes in really easy. So let's get to it. To get this Tazer in place, we've got to get in behind this panel. We got to get to the SGW, the security gateway module that's tucked in behind here. So just grab a hold of the panel, and it's a little scary at first, but give it a good yank. Wow, this one's a tight one. It's just got these little snap clips. Again, a little scary to pull out. Give it a good yank, they'll come. So just reach up in, and the little tab is on the back side of the plug. Push in, and then kind of wiggle. There's one. Do the same for the next one. And there's the second one. Then we're just going to take our Tazer Mini. Snap those plugs in. You see we've got lights going on. Now we're ready to start programming it. With the Tazer Mini plugged in, it's ready to get tucked back in behind the panel. You notice right here on the side is a port. There's a cable that comes in the box with the Tazer Mini, and it's for updating the unit. So we'll just tuck it back up in there and then get our panel back in place. So before we set the tire size on that Tazer Mini, we need to actually measure the tires to find out what they are. We're gonna need three things. We're gonna need a tape measure, we're gonna need a level, and we could use a helper. Set the level right on top of the tire and make sure it is level. And then we take our tape measure, and this Nitto 40-inch tall tire measures out pretty much at 39 inches tall exactly. All right, all the programming for the Tazer is done through the dash display. So we want to hit the start button. With the left-hand side buttons, let's scroll down. We want to go until we got the little radio antenna. So press down the left-hand arrow, and now we're going to push the cancel button. Light show, clear check engine lights, and there's Mary. So we want to push the center button on the right-hand side. And it is now counting down as it is marrying to the Tazer Mini. And it is now married. Once we have the radio antenna on, we're gonna push down this left-hand arrow and then hit the cancel button. On Marry Performance. We'll hit our button there. Here's our tire size. So now this is where we can tell it what size tire we want. We'd already measured that it's 39 inches tall. So let's go ahead and bump it up to 39. 38.98, that's about as close as we're gonna get it. And we'll call that good. Your gear ratio. So right now we still have the 410s, we're gonna leave it at that. In the future, if we do a gear ratio change, we can then just reset our gear ratio. Same with the 4-low. If we ever change our transfer case or change the gearing in the transfer case, we can actually adjust that. So the computer knows what the gear ratio is. And of course the tire pressure monitoring system, we're going to go in there. Yes, we can turn it on or off. We can also then tell what PSI we want it to run. With this bigger tire, we're going to run a lower PSI. Yeah, let's just say maybe 32 PSI. And we'll call that good. Let's go to the rear. And we'll drop that also down to 32 PSI. Now what that's doing is that's resetting when the warning light will come on for low air. So now instead of coming on anything less than 37, it'll only come on once we hit 32 or lower. And then we can scroll all the way back through and we'll hit the full reboot. And so now it's gonna reboot, and it takes just over 2 minutes to do a full reboot. Once the computer fully reboots, comes back up online, and we're back to the radio station, we know it's done. It is ready to go. All right, we've got the Tazer installed and it's programmed for those 40-inch tall tires. So now the Spartacus Gladiator is ready to go out on the road for its first test drive. Yes, it is that easy to install and that easy to program. We do recommend that you print out the instructions off of the Z-Automotive website or right off of the Northridge 4x4 website. Throw these in your glove box just in case. What do you think? Are you ready for a Tazer Mini? Maybe you've already got one. Leave us a comment down below. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and stay tuned. We got lots more for you. Thanks, Northridge Nation.